Hello, this is Real Audio, and do you guys remember my little boombox up there? I had a little video telling about how the sound changed when I put it up there. And now I'm making this very unusual video to show you guys how your entire perspective can change. And you see now there's a car in my garage. This is my car. And as you see, it does not have the engine inside. Why? Because the engine is here on an engine stand. So this is why I have been really busy for the past 2 weeks, past 2 weekends. This is what we've been doing with Nelly, is getting the engine out of the car. Why? Because it needs a rebuild. And when you look for instructions, when you read the manual, then it says that you can take out the engine by removing the entire sub chassis of the car. So basically you have to take out both wheels, the transmission, and just a lot of support systems, and that's like a quite exacting work, and you need a true workshop for that. So that's not doable at home, and partly because you have to jack up the car to real high, and that requires more than a jack. That really requires a hydraulic lifter to lift up the car, or do something like that. However, what we were doing, we didn't go that way, but we tried something else, thinking outside the box. So what we did is remove the entire front of the car, and then we got the engine out from the front instead of dropping everything out. So we removed it from the transmission, and it came out in front. But there were other things which had to be solved. So for example, the car needed to be jacked up, right? So what we did is we built some nice ramps for the car, and now the car didn't need to be jacked up, so we just came up on the ramp, and there it is, enough space to crawl under the car and just work there with comfort. And it's much more safer than just jacking it up and wondering if the jack is going to give you surprises. And there was one more surprise that we had, is that there is a shortage of engine hoists. So we didn't have a crane to get the engine out from the car. So what did we do? We built a hoist ourselves. So we did a support system, and with a slide on it. So if I can move it. So you see it slides back and forth. So we put it over the engine, and then could slide the engine out, and then place the engine stand here, and then we could mount it on the engine stand. And there's another hurdle to prevent removal of the engine like that. One of that is that here, this is actually the coolant, the radiator for the air conditioner, and that's the compressor of the air conditioner. So according to the manual, if you want to remove the engine, you have to disconnect all the systems, and you have to let the refrigerant, the coolant, out from the air conditioning and take apart the air conditioning system as well. We didn't do that. So the AC system is intact, and what I did was to remove the compressor from the engine while it was still in the car, and put the radiator on the side. So actually the second radiator that cools the engine is gone, took it out of the way, but this is the AC radiator. And when I took out the engine, we dropped the compressor under, so we could slide the engine over. And as you see, some extra ingenuity here is that this is the refrigerant line for the AC. So I zip tied a shim there, a block of wood, so that when we were sliding the engine out, it does not accidentally smash it and crash it and the system explodes. So why am I showing this to you guys? And before you ask me, I'm not a car mechanic. I'm a cancer researcher. I'm a research biologist, and So I'm working on the field of cancer research. Basically, that's my job, and this is something that you know, just when you got to do things, you do it. And I'm telling you guys about this unusual method of removing an engine because the book said you cannot remove the engine this way, and the book said you cannot remove the engine without letting the coolant, the freon, into the atmosphere, and it can be done. So that's what I want to hammer into everyone's minds, that this applies not just to cars, but it also applies to audio. So when you are reading manuals, you are reading tutorials, you are getting your degree in engineering and learning about transistors and all sorts of technology, you are reading about signal to noise ratio, about measurements. Yes, everything is important, and it's there to guide you and to build up your experience basis. But if you make it your only guiding star, you make it your God, then you will be confined. So if I would have done that, stuck to the limitations that are put in writing, I would never have been able to imagine, to remove the engine and then fix it up. And this applies to audio as well. If you are taking everything as a gospel that you read, then you will be putting yourself into a cage, and it will severely stunt your growth. And you can only grow in the mainstream direction. So for example, what does that mean? So it means that you are a hardcore practitioner of measurements, of data sheets, of accepting how we, for example, how we design loudspeakers. So you go just by the TILA small parameters. You use the software to model your loudspeakers, and you are unwilling to budge beyond what the simulation gives you. Then you are severely limiting yourself into a road where you can have success only and only if you are buying the most expensive drivers, getting the latest technology, and following exactly that path that has been laid out for you. So prepare your wallet, prepare your bank account, because it's going to bleed dry very, very fast. And that's why I'm telling you guys, this is the raison d'etre for my channel, to show you means how to escape from that cage, that gilded cage. And I am not saying to throw away your Radiotron designer's handbooks. I'm not telling you guys to throw away manuals and data sheets. That's why I am doing so many videos looking at data sheets of loudspeaker drivers. I just started talking about signal to noise ratios, about phono stages, because I want to open your window to get what is beyond a limited vision. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you didn't mind that I show such a strange example, and perhaps it helps a little bit to understand why I am not making a video every day and why I have trouble answering all your emails and comments. It's because I need to get this project done. I want to see my car back and running, and yes guys, it means that I have to put in a crazy amount of hours to do this project. And yep, so that's happening. I've been busy with that, but I'm still trying to do a few videos in the coming probably month that will take me to take apart the engine, get the new parts, clean everything up, find what needs to be fixed, and then again put everything together. Meanwhile, I have a super busy life at work and other things happening as well. So thank you guys, I much appreciate your time. I don't want to take it any further. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget to listen to music, because that's the most important thing. Bye bye.